You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's Heavy Mount Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Devil's Gambit. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. There it is. I wasn't sure when I glimpsed it earlier, but that's the symbol Ranzkai wears on his belt, isn't it? Ah yes, Ranai's rune. Literally, this one is red as Ranai. Interesting. Then it refers to the town? Not quite. It can mean Ranai the town, yes, but its meaning can change depending on the context. It can refer to the eyelid and to the act of protecting or concealing something. Rumor goes that this or a rune of similar design was once used in a now extinct tradition of woven magic, too. He suddenly snaps his fingers and points at a specific passage. My eyes go wide at the sight of that word. Oh, I almost forgot, but this rune has some different meanings. When it refers to the town and the body part, it's Ranai. But when it's used as a verb, it reads as Ranzkai. That's the demon's name. It takes all my power to bite back that sentence. Finbar raises an eyebrow at me. What's wrong, son? Quickly, improvise. Sorry, I got distracted and stubbed my toe. Ha! Be careful. You don't want to get a splinter under your claws. I cringe at the very thought. In any case, this is fascinating. But I should get going. I stayed longer than intended when to talk about your story and all. Right, don't let me keep you. And thanks again for your comments. Huh. Before I go, would you mind lending me this book, Uncle Finbar? It'd make a pleasant read before bed. I don't mind. It'll see more use with you anyway. I give the book a longing look before putting it in my bag and closing it. I truly wish I could dig into whatever clues it might hold right now, but duty calls. As the old wolf sees me off, I spot a lingering trace of curiosity in his expression. He keeps his questions to himself, however, and simply watches me walk away before retreating into his shop. Did I say anything suspicious? No, it's more likely he still thinks something happened to me, which, well, it's true. Had I told Finbar about Ranzkai, would he have agreed to help me? I think so, but maybe it's for the best that I didn't. If the demon can trample all over Manol's expedition, he would have no trouble crushing a loose-lipped badger and what feeble help he can muster. I need to keep this to myself, at least until I can devise a plan, and hopefully to keep doing that just now rests in my bag. Once the sun had set and I returned to Arwell's nest, I intended to go straight to my room to do a night-long reading session. I underestimated what the lack of sleep alongside the hunger and fatigue from walking all over town would do to me. By the time I entered the tavern, the smell of Arwell stew and the sight of the bar stools, which might as well be cushioned with how comfortable they look, is too tempting to pass. As soon as I collapse onto a stool and let out a relieved sigh, Arwell comes to me like a moth drawn to a flame. A very eager to serve moth. Alright, over there you go. Ha! Look who's here! Dinner's almost ready, friend. Is there anything I can get you in the meantime? Just water, please. Arwell stew is like a panacea that slowly restores my lucidity. It doesn't help with my burning legs, but, oh well. I examine my surroundings. There's no sign of Cadgan being around tonight. I guess it's to be expected. Yay! Did you enjoy the food? Oh, yes, thank you, I needed that. The dragon hums a song as he gathers my bowl to add it to the pile he's making. You seem quiet tonight. Is something on your mind? I'm just eager to go to my room. I got a book from my uncle about Ranai's history and I'm eager to get started on it. Your uncle? Huh, don't recall seeing another badger around town. Is he a new arrival? It's not like that. He's not a blood relative. My father and him are really good friends, and I always considered him an uncle. Maybe you know him, Finbar the blacksmith? Oh, we've met, yes. Now, aren't you a box of surprises? Not only are you close to the town's peacekeeper, but you also had family here all along. Arwell's tone shifts. He cocks his hips to the side and lowers himself along with his voice. And that's not even touching on your little miracle today. Miracle? He gives a dramatic smile and pauses as if teasing me. Word is going around that you saved Gerard from a dusk viper bite. The witch doctor brewed some powerful antidote in his cauldron and didn't even have to chop his leg off. That's what I heard. I know you were a hell of a doctor since the moment I saw you, but it's nice seeing my faith proven like that. I couldn't have done it without help. The head doctor gave me this journal full of research notes from a dozen other healers. That's what allowed me to do anything at all. And so humble, too. Give yourself more credit, friend. You did an incredible thing today. I didn't. Any doctor could have done it. If this were if they were in my position. Every year there's a bite or two, and it's always horrible. Last summer a boy and a girl went out to play too far and it happened. They were only found when it was too late. But now, no one will ever burst in looking for a bone saw again. Instead, they'll yell for Dr. Hector's miracle cure. You have no idea how relieved I am. And mark my words, one day your name will be in one of Ranai's history books, just like the one you mentioned earlier. I figured when I heard I brew an antidote, he interpreted that as a cure for both the venom's effects. I'm afraid I don't have the heart to burst his bubble. So instead, I forced out a chuckle and a half smile. Oh, and it brings me back to my first days here. Back when I became enamored with this town. I wanted to learn everything about it, every piece of trivia and gossip, read every book, and now I get to witness history being made. Say, are you getting the same itch I did? About learning Ranai's ins and outs, I mean. Okay. Although for different reasons, I do happen to be feeling nosy. Sure, actually. Could you give me some guidance? Since you know about the town's history, do you have any suggestions on where I can learn about myself? Learn about it myself? Why, of course! Not too long ago, His Grace opened a museum in his mansion. He's put many ancient artifacts pertinent to Ranai's history on display there. You should definitely check it out. It's a sight to behold. And there's also the priest in the temple just outside of town, too. He's a very knowledgeable fellow. Something about what Arwell just said rubs me the wrong way. But putting that discomfort aside, this museum sounds dubious. I've met rich clients who enjoy adorning a room or garden with exotic decorations before giving it an outrageous name and charging for admission. Some of them tried giving me a free tour as payment for my help. I never saw my face again. Anyway, I bet it's that kind of situation. Orwell's a bit more, enthusiastic than most about the Duke, so he's probably echoing Manol's exact words. Interesting. I'll pay them both a visit. For the museum, you'll want to write His Grace. He doesn't let anyone in without a reservation. The dragon picks up the pile of bowls. He huffs as though it's heavy, but it's obvious he's doing it effortlessly. Orwell returns to the kitchen and me to my room shortly after. I close the door behind me, leaving my bag on my desk, and begin digging for Finbar's book. The sun just set. I should have a few hours to go over it before I sleep. With a sigh and a bit of magic on the tip of my index finger, I light my lamp and sit on my small yet spacious bed. I flip through the book's pages until I stumble upon the Ranai rune again. This should be a good starting point. Act 2, Chapter 2. Oblin. It was what you'd call a lazy day. After lunch, Cadgan and I were hanging out in his room. I was sitting on the floor back against the bed. The wolf had been staring at the wall from his bed for some time, changing poses every so often as if looking at it from the right angle would reveal a great secret to him. Right now, he was on his back, letting his head hang off the edge of the mattress as he continued to stare. Cadgan? Do you want to read something? Nah, I don't feel like it. He rolled over and his gaze shifted to me. What's Oblin like? Oh, what's Oblin like? Oh, Oblin's great. It's smaller than I, but much warmer. And there are these vast pastures full of bugs and all sorts of plant life. If you stop there, close your eyes and focus, you can hear the earth's breathing. Really? Are you sure it's not just the breeze? No, it's just the sound of God's spirits at work. But I guess it's hard to believe it until you go there and do it yourself. Ranai is silent by comparison. It's almost like the earth and spirits here are gone or hiding. If you went to my hometown, you'd notice the difference right away. Although, considering that most of Ranai's stories were about demons, maybe that was for the best. What about the people? I bet they pick on you a lot. All the other kids are afraid of Dad, so they don't. What is there to be afraid of? That ugly mustache? I punched him in the shoulder, but Cadgan just laughed it off. The young wolf sighed, took a deep breath, and stared into the wall again. Ugh. Oberlin sounds nice. I'd like to visit. Too bad it'll be gone soon. Huh? What? It won't hold on for long, right? There's barely anyone left. Give it a year or 9, and it'll look just like the ruins outside the valley. Cadgan never said that. What's gotten into you? Come on, Hector. You know you want to go away too. Come on. Come down to him. In the blink of an eye, I have one knee on the bed as I grab him by the shirt and force him to face me, barely containing my rage. Stop it! My hands feel and look massive against him. My claws even rip his shirt. That doesn't deter him. His laughter keeps echoing even as he fades away into nothing. Perhaps Ranai is quiet compared to Oberlin, yes, but it was a mistake to assume that meant nothing supernatural was at play here. While Ranai's spirits, or is he the only one? I'm not sure. Don't let you hear them. They have their ways to inform you of their presence. So as I'm once more pulled out of my dreams by the smell of flowers in full bloom, I already know that he is near. I perk my ears and notice tapping and creaking, with harsh breathing on the backdrop and now and then the sound of a page being turned. I feel around the bed to confirm that nobody else is with me before rolling onto my side to investigate the noise. Oh, hello. The lamp is still lit. Must have fallen asleep while reading, but it's the moonlight that reveals that mask, the 2 rubies, and the purple knife tips of his ears. And not to mention the hooves, which, no matter how hard I look, are undoubtedly real. Ranzkai sits at my desk, absentmindedly flipping through the pages of Finbar's book with a half grin. Is he amused by its contents, or simply contemplative? I can't read his expression, well. Also, he keeps rocking the chair back and forth with one of his hooves. It's not long before he notices me, though. He tosses the book behind him as he leans forward, slamming the chair down, and rises. Badger, at long last you've awakened. A twisted smile forms on his face, and I reach out for the lamp, holding on to it to bash him in the head with it if he attempts to get too close. The demon's arms drop, and he breaks into laughter. I take the chance to get out of bed so I'm less vulnerable, or so I hope. Either you know nothing about my kin, or even more dull-witted than I thought. Have you forgot the rejection spell I generously granted you? I won't listen to anything you have to say, demon. Don't think I'll give up my soul to you. What happens next puzzles me. The wildfire in his eyes flickers as if my rejection could extinguish it. However, it only lasts an instant, before a more sinister sheen takes over. The glimmer of a seasoned hunter that recognizes the sort of prey he's dealing with. How many men must have rejected him in his lifetime only to kneel before him in the end? I'd be a fool to think myself untouchable. Last night he already breached my defenses, pinning me against the wall, weakened my legs, and every time he spat out venom, my heart skipped a beat. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. I am tired for the evening. Let's go ahead and log off for the night. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!